Welcome everyone. Another episode of stay-at-home workouts, self-quarantine workouts with Philly Yongmudo Temple Hapkido. Today what we're going to work on are some formal blocks and strikes. I'm going to try to make sure I go over some of the finer points of it. We're going to mix that in with some more aerobic activities as we often do. And the point of this workout is to kind of get, again, as we always do, some Yongmudo practice on some Yongmudo skills. I can't really see you very well. I will stop in this workout and kind of check in and see what people are doing a little bit more than I usually do, because we're talking about very finer, more fine motor skills, stuff that we're going to try to work on. And I will just edit that stuff out so no one can see you or see me just staring at a screen. Not like what I'm doing now. I'm talking now, so I'm not just staring at a screen. We will start with the usual warm-up. I don't have any weights that we're going to use today. We're just going to do a quick warm-up, and then we'll go into our formal blocks and strikes, mixing with some aerobics, and end with some 10-15 minutes of stretching, depending on how time goes. So go ahead, find your space. Let's get up. We'll start with our warm-up. And we're going to do kind of the same boring warm-up that we always do. This way you don't have to think too much. If anyone wants to take turns helping me count stuff out, then that would be great. So we'll start off with jumping jacks. I'll take the first 10. If I hear someone jump in, then feel free. Actually, who wants to jump in?
I got it.
Phil's hand go up, but his head is out of the screen, so all I saw was
Oh, no.
All right, maybe Will will count. Maybe Will and I will take turns. Maybe Paul will jump in if his wife lets him count. I don't know if he's allowed to count out loud at his house, so we'll just have to see what happens. All right, so we'll start off with jumping jacks. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Passing it off. Or not. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. Go, Will.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, and 50.
Good. All right. Thanks, Will. Let's go to our circuit of crunches and push-ups. We're going to do 20 crunches, 10 push-ups. So 20 crunches, 10 push-ups. Do whichever ones you like. I'm going to start off with a very simple crunch. Lying on my back, legs up, hands are behind my head because I don't want to start jerking my head. Gives me a little bit more control over what I'm doing. All right, 20 crunches. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Push-ups. Push-ups of your choice. I love it when I'm sitting here doing my nice, slow old man push-ups and I hear the clapping in the background. It's great. Everyone up. Push up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. Back to crunches. Maybe Will will count these out. I'm going to do leg lifts this time. So if Will is doing regular crunches, he'll just burn by me fast and I'll be slow to catch up. His call.
I'll do some leg lifts. Enjoy those. So here we go. On your back. Whatever ab you're doing. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Roll over, push-up position time. And we're ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
All right, last set. Is there a volunteer who wants to count? All right, I'll count again. All right, crunches of your choice. I'm going to do leg lifts again. On your back. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And on your front, push-ups. Last set. Make them interesting if you like, or keep it boring. It doesn't matter. Have fun. Everyone up, push-up position. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. Next, we're going to do squats and back arches. If you want to grab weights and have them, sure, why don't we use them? If you don't have them, that's all right. I already told you not to get them, but we're just going to do easy squats. We're going to do 10, and we're going to go to our back arches of your choice. I like the single-sided Supermans, other people for the double-sided Supermans. You can also plank and do leg lifts up, lifting up behind, all your choice, okay? All right, so starting off, easy squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to sit. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, 12. All right, I only said 10, but did 12. Okay. On your front, back arches of your choice. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Back up the squats. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back on your fronts. Back arches. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back up. Squats. Third set. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On your fronts. Back arches. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. On your bums, we're going to do standing up to base. Easy warm up. Coming up to a stand. So I've got left hand up, right hand down on the ground, left knee up, right knee down on the ground, okay? We're going to do from here is if you want to do a kick, great. If you don't want to do a kick, that's all right. We're just going to bring the foot up in an arc, stand up. If you've got a nice mat, roll down. If you don't have a nice mat, drop down, okay? All right, so we're going to do 5 left, 5 right, 5 left, 5 right. Basic standing up to base. We've done it a whole bunch of times. Are there any questions? Okay, cool. All right, ready. Left hand up, right leg is stepping back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. Right hand is up, left hand is down. Left foot stepping back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the left side, left hand up, right leg stepping back. 5 more. Ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch, right hand is up, left leg stepping back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Oh, I gotta go all the way back there. There we go. Okay. Okay, that's our brief warm-up. Take a second, stretch anything out that's particularly tight. Grab a quick drink of water. And we're going to go on to talking about our formal blocks and strikes. So, I'm going to come in a little bit closer. My head's going to get cut off a bit so you can see what my body's doing a little bit better. We're going to start off in a horseback stance. My horseback stance is about 2 shoulder widths apart. Honestly, this is about 1 shoulder width. So I'm about 2 shoulder widths apart. You can go a little deeper than that. But the key thing we also want to think about is having a nice bent leg position, feet pointed straight forward, and I want to keep my back straight over my hips. So my hips are over my feet, my knees are bent, my quads are working on this. We're going to start off with a middle punch, all right? So as a reminder, fold in the first joint, fold in the second joint. Take that thumb, put it across. As we're punching, we want to have a straight line going across. We want to be hitting with these first 2 knuckles. And so we want to have this top flat, but we also want to make sure we don't have any torque on this. We want a straight line between these 2 knuckles going up the wrist. As we punch with these first 2 knuckles, the wrist is nicely supported, all right? So we're going to start in a horseback stance doing our middle punch. As we do this, though, we're thinking about the hands turning over, but I also want you to think about the hips. I want to use today's focus, while we're going to try to get some good technical handwork up here on the shoulders and arms. We also want to think about the hips and legs being active for our blocks and strikes. So that's where a lot of our focus is going to be on for today. We're going to spend a lot of the next 20, 25 minutes in some sort of slightly deep stance so that we're working our legs, okay? Lots of breaks, yeah, don't worry. You need to take a break, stand up, walk around a little bit, shake it out, watch what other people are doing. So we're going to start in a horseback stance, 2 shoulder widths wide, right? We're here, 1 shoulder width, 2 shoulder widths. Bend the legs so that we have a nice bent leg, strong leg position. And we're going to punch midsection. As we're doing this, we're going to rotate about 30 degrees total. So it's 15 degrees off of straight. If I just punch with the right hand, that right shoulder and hip comes forward about 15 degrees. As I punch with the left, I'm going to rotate and bring that one forward 30 degrees. So it's 15 degrees off the 30 degrees total as it turns. I'm going to do just a little bit of movement on the knees shifting in order to help that 30 degrees of motion. Okay, we don't want to turn much more than that. I want to hit all the way to 45, just enough that I can think about this hip and quad driving forward into it, Okay, so everyone get down to a horseback stance. Right hand is out in a nice punching position. We'll call it middle punch for now. If you want to do high at your own face or down at groin, you can do that on your own, but I'm going to call everything at middle punch. The left hand's going to come out, body rotates 30 degrees. That's it. Switch, 30 degrees of change. shift, 30 degrees of change. Good. All right, so now you've done a few slow. What I'm going to do is count out a bunch. I'm not going to go fast, but I'm going to count it out just so we're all kind of doing it together and we get some of the timing of it. And 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Stand up, shake it out. All right. As we're trying to do this, we're trying to time the hip shift and the leg shift with the punch. We don't want to punch and then have the hip come forward. We don't want the hip to come forward and then punch. We want it to come together. We want these big muscles down here, the core muscles and the leg muscles, to drive this punch. Question so far? No? Okay, all right, let's go ahead and we're going to do about 20 more of the middle punch. Horseback stance, right middle punch is out. I'll call it off. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. All right, take it out. Good. Okay, back down to your horseback stance. Okay, so come on up to a stance. A couple things I'm seeing. One, I'm seeing some people, their shoulders aren't really moving, okay? We want the shoulders to move a little bit. That's not quite what I would call traditional, formal horseback stance stuff. We're practicing how to get the timing of it, but minimizing the number of variables. So I want a little bit of shoulder and hip turn on it. At the same time, we don't want to overturn more than that 15 degrees off the center line, off the flat line. Like right here, I've gone, I don't know, I've gone to a 45 or a lot more, maybe 50. So we don't want to overturn, okay? We just want this shoulder to come forward a little bit. Don't worry about the other one coming back. Just bring that hip and shoulder forward a little bit. Bring it forward. Okay, all right. Back in your horseback stance. And let's just punch a person straight in front of us. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. All right, take it out. Hopefully your legs aren't getting too tired. All right, we're going to take the same thing, and we're going to now go from reverse punch, except we're going to do a down block, okay? On this, first off, I like to think of most of the blocks as trying to head out, away from my body so that I can engage some of the bigger muscles. I don't want any windshield wiper stuff that stays in really close. I want to try to block out a little bit so that I can engage some more muscles. So on our down block, start way up here, and yeah, we're coming down and we want to just kind of clear our center line. We don't have to get all the way over our knee because look, our body is not here. That's enough to block and protect our body. From the side, here, right? Starting up here and the hand is going out, right? As it comes down. And again, I want just about 15 degrees of turn off of that flat line, or 30 degrees total. Questions on this? Okay, let's do some down block, and then after down block, we'll shift it up a little bit. All right, so horseback stance. Start with a right middle punch. You're going to start with a left hand down block. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. All right, take it out. Questions?
Will,
Are you
turn
chambering?
into the block, don't turn away from the block.
Say again?
You're twisting your torso in the wrong direction.
All right, yes.
So what
Thank
Mindy's referring to is that oftentimes people, instead of going into the block, so instead of turning my weight into the block, I'm sideways. Instead of turning this way, they'll pull the other shoulder back. So I want you to think about dropping weight into it. So you're going to turn in the direction that you are doing the block. Okay? Was there another question?
Yeah. Are you, so you're chambering the blocking hand. Are you also chambering your legs at all, like preparing to move into it, or?
Yes,
or not?
I am. It might be a little bit of a cheat, but you know what? What we're trying to think about is just how the basic movements come together and all the muscles come together. So we'll call it a cheat, or maybe it's overly stylistic, but it helps us do it. But yes, so what I'm doing here is, let's say I just did a right down block. As I pull this hand up here, my body is turning to the right. I can load up a little bit so that I've got more muscle to drive leftwards. Then as I come up here, I'm turning further to the left to load up for that right down block. So yes, that is what I'm doing. Question? Okay. Let's do a few more of the down block, and then we'll break it up and do something else, a little bit different. Okay, so horseback stance, right middle punch, left hand is doing the down block first. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Okay. Military push-ups. We're going to break it up. We've been doing a lot of quad stuff, so our legs are getting a little wobbly, but our core and upper body needs some work. So military push-ups, for those who aren't familiar with it, we're just going to do 10 of them. You're going to start on a plank position, legs down, arms down. Left hand comes up, right hand comes up, right hand goes down, left arm goes down, that's 1. We'll do 5 that way, and then we'll do 5 the other way where the right hand comes up first. Any questions? All right, good. 10 military push-ups, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. Feel those quads thinking, oh, I gotta hold the legs straight, and relax. So, we're gonna do one more block in horseback stance, and then we'll start doing my next favorite drill on this, which is a side-to-side horseback. So, first one we're gonna do is, we've just done a down block. That's kind of an in to out motion, so we can think of in to out block as very similar. So this time what I want to do is switch. Let's do an out to in, all right? So with a right middle punch, left hand is at the waist. I'm going to bring it up here to chamber. As I do, I'm going to load up per Will's question from before, and then I'm gonna squeeze it in tight, driving it forward. You can see that I barely want to clear my shoulder with my fist, maybe not even that much. If there was something coming straight at me, then I would be able to deflect it and clear my body. So I don't have to block over here, I just have to clear my body. Also, you can see how close I'm keeping this arm to my body, trying to squeeze this forward. From the side, it's gonna look like this. So I have a lot of forward drive in here where I can again engage this side, all these muscles, core muscles, leg muscles, driving this arm forward, and now also engage the chest muscles, pushing out. Nice strong bench press motion, blocking as I go forward. Questions? All right, we're gonna do out to in block, horseback stance, right middle punch. Left hand is gonna be doing our out to in block first. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Questions? You may have noticed, while you're thinking if you have questions, you may have noticed that in the beginning I started with the hand down here and then it rose up there. I was looking down at the camera, and so what I really want is something right about my own shoulder level, which is why the camera's lower. It appeared to be that I was starting to block high, and I don't want to block high. I want to block at my own shoulder level most of the time on this. Questions?
Is your arm like completely clenched the whole time, or is it more like a punch where you tighten up at the end?
I am on a close fist, whether I'm punching or blocking. I am usually trying to keep my fist fairly tight. The more that I start thinking loose fist and then trying to tighten it as I do something, the more often I'm going to end up in problems. For example, if I'm punching in and I've got a loose fist up until the end, I also haven't engaged the wrist muscles very well, which means if someone blocks and I hit something funny too soon before I've gotten to the last bit, for me now my wrist could be in trouble. So I tend to think actually trying to keep it fairly strong the entire time. Now when I fight, I'm usually fighting open hand, and then when I get ready to punch, I'm kind of tight fist as I'm coming in, but I don't want to wait until the last second to get too snug on that fist, because I want to make sure I'm also protecting the wrist. Okay? Okay.
Thank you.
All right, let's do a few more of our out to in block. Horseback stance, right middle punch, starting with left hand doing the out to in block. I'm going to do it sideways this time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Questions? All right, let's quickly do 10 more military push-ups, and then we can move to the next idea. All right, down. You can go left arm first or right arm first, totally your choice. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. All right.
Yes.
Next, we're going to do my side-to-side horsebacks that I like. On this, so we were going about 2 shoulder widths apart before. I like to go just a little bit wider, because now as I shift and turn, my stance feels narrower than it did before, is I'm now facing basically what is a front stance to my left. We're gonna do a technique. We're gonna start maybe with our right middle punch. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get ready to shift to our right side, okay? In order to do that, I don't just wanna turn here, because what I ended up doing was relaxing the right leg and using that relaxing right leg to turn me towards this way. And I'm not really engaging these muscles very much. But when we're thinking about blocking or punching, we now need to go to the right to use these leg muscles to drive the hips, okay? And use that to drive the upper body. So if we start in a right middle punch, what I want you to do is drop down on that left side, make this really tired, turn that left foot all the way in so that it's now pointing almost to the direction of the right punch, left punch, and then extend off your left punch. As we do this though, we want to make sure that this knee is not so bent that we're heading over those front toes. You want to be able to barely see those front toes over that knee. If you're over bent here, now we're getting too far and we're going to put our knee in a weak position. Okay, so now we just did our left. We're going to bend down, drop all the way here on the right side. Now extend off the right leg for a right punch. Bend the left, drop down, turn to the right. Drop the right, turn, extend that right punch. Questions? Sideways, I'm going to start here. I collapse this leg, drop the weight down, turn the foot, extend off, and you'll notice that now I'm kind of going at 45s off the center. And that's how we get my front stance left, front stance right, without really moving, taking steps on the feet. But you want to feel those feet turn as you drive into your punches or blocks. Questions? Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to start with right middle punch. We're going to do like 6 left, 6 right, and then we'll see where we are. So, extra wide horseback stance. Let's turn to our left. We just did a right middle punch. So the first one is off the left side. And 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9, 2, 10, 2, 11, 2, 12, 2. All right, questions? Since you've done 6 on each side. All right, looking pretty good. Quick point that we're going to want to see is if I can get my hips right in front of the, this is actually my son using it for a, what do you call, strike zone. There we go. It's a kid's strike zone. So as I'm doing this, you can see me moving across the strike zone. I've got my right punch here. As I get ready to turn for the left punch, notice that I'm not turning here. I'm not staying in the middle. I'm actually moving farther to the side. Now I can drive through. Now I'm going to come over here, weight it up. My hip is actually dropped further to the outside, driving through. Drop the hip, drive through. Drop the hip, drive through. Okay? And as we do that, make sure that you get the foot in line with the direction you want to go so that it's the quad driving off, basically like if you were running. We don't want to have the foot sliding sideways. We want to turn that foot so the hip and quad are engaging where we're going. Questions? None. Okay. All right, let's do a few more then. Right middle punch, and then we'll do in a couple of blocks. So right hand out, right middle punch. Nice deep front stance going to our left. We're now going to go to our right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good.
Yes.
All right, we're now going to add in a block first. We're going to do block strike combination. We're going to do a down block reverse punch. So as we do this, going to my right, we're going to have to come up chamber, begin to chamber the leg as well as the arm. We're going to drive into that down block. But now I'm about 50-50 on weight. My hips have begun turning, and I still have something left for that punch. Left. 1, 2, 3. Okay? If you're feeling like an upper rank, then maybe you won't break it down to kind of 1, 2, 3. But let's make sure that we're not turning down block punch. We're not turning down block punch. We're also not loading up down block, and now we've got nothing left for the punch. We want a down block punch. Down block punch. Questions? All right, let's start. Down block, right middle punch, starting right hand out. So we're going to do right hand down block, left hand punch. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. All right, shake out those legs. Questions? Yeah.
Yeah. So how wide a stance is too wide? Because I'm feeling like I can't extend my leg much further after I turn. I mean, yeah.
I would say
I don't know if that makes sense.
the limiting factor on width is leg strength. So the reason most people have a narrower stance is because our legs are getting too tired too early. So if you've got strong legs and you can get nice super wide in here, then you can still work on a nice super low stance and it'll be great. Here, narrower, I'm gonna run out much sooner. But in order to maintain a super low stance and drive in here, I need a lot more leg strength. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Yeah, so the answer is have stronger legs and go wider. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll try wider, see if that helps.
Try a little wider, see if it helps. Try a little wider. You may not be able to do as many to start off with, but for me, this was great exercise on leg strengthening, especially around the knees and getting some good knee strength on some of my stance work.
Something,
Sorry, what?
my instructors always call me out on the fact that my heel tends to come up of the leg I'm pushing off of.
Okay.
So that's part of where my question came from, I guess.
Okay,
You know,
yeah, and this is, I haven't talked about it too much, but as I'm turning from right to left, I want to make sure that I'm leaving that whole foot on the ground. So I'm turning in here, I'm turning this right foot, but now I'm driving off of the whole foot. So I'm keeping that heel on the ground. My instructor suggested, when I was having a problem with it, is that when you're first starting this, think about just pushing off the heel. And so long as you're thinking about driving off the heel, it's hard to get that heel lift. And once you get a little bit more practice of that, you'll feel the heel staying down, and you can shift a little bit more of it to the ball of the foot. And I think that'll also help you then engage the calf muscle better into the block strike motion.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, let's do one more. We're gonna do let's do into out block middle punch. So we did down block middle punch. We're now gonna do into out block middle punch. We didn't cover this one in the basic, but remember the idea is I want to come forwards and I want to come a little bit out. So this way I can engage these muscles driving behind it, but I'm also going forwards so that I can use some of these pushing muscles that I've got on my upper body. So we're going to start off 1, 2, and we're going to start off going to our right middle punch, right into out block, left middle punch, okay? So starting with the right hand out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Let's
Take out those legs. And keep in mind as we're doing this that the formal blocks and strikes are not how we actually fight. We're trying to use the formal block and strike motions to think about how we begin to engage a whole bunch of muscles in a very intellectual fashion. We don't necessarily have to do it this way, but this gives us some nice, useful drills and some useful reference points to think about which muscles should be engaging and getting those muscles nice and tight so we're feeling them work. So by this point, hopefully your quads and calves and hips are starting to feel a little bit tired from this back and forth stance motion. And that will then help you also remember, all right, now I know this muscle is working as I do it. We have to be careful as we're doing this to not overdo some muscles. So we have to be careful that we're not using the wrong muscles. So we want the right muscles to feel tired, not the wrong muscles. So we have to be careful of that. So especially like the sides of the knees, we don't want to feel. Questions? Okay, let's go ahead and let's finish off with 10 burpees and then like 5 minutes of stretching, okay? So everyone knows what a burpee is? Make sure, I'm not gonna jump because I got a low ceiling here, but the basic idea is we wanna drop the hands down, shoot the legs back, push up, jump in, maybe jump up, okay? So we're just gonna do 10. Finish off strong. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Good. All right. Take a second. Breathe. Grab a quick drink of water. And let's finish up with a little bit of stretching. All right, back to the nets. Nice easy circles. Eyes open. Remembering to breathe, switch at your leisure. And looking to your right and left. Good, right ear to right shoulder, left ear to left. Tick-tocking back and forth. And yes, this is the only tick-tock I know. I don't know what that other tick-tock is. Down and up. Good. Arms, big circles forward. And backwards. And chain breakers, forwards and back. And catch that right arm, pull it across. And release, left arm, pull it across. And release, right arm goes behind your head. And release. Left arm goes behind your head. Good. And release and twist. And down to the hips. Keeping your head in one place. Easy circles. And down to the knees. We don't have to do too much of this. Our legs and knees are probably pretty warmed up and tired at this point. Good. All right, down to the toes. I'm just going to do some circles first, working out the toes. And now I'm going to pick it up, balance on one foot, 5 circles clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. And switch, left toes. And raise it, 5 circles clockwise, 5 counterclockwise. You're having trouble balancing, pick a spot on the floor that isn't moving. Don't stare at the screen. Good. And quick little shake out. All right. Both hands reaching up, feet about shoulder width apart. Actually, let's go a little narrow. Let's go about hip width apart. And forward fold. Relax, hanging down. Bend the knees a little bit, ragdoll up. And hands go up again. And forward fold again. And bend the knees, ragdoll up. Good. We're going to start now in a seated position. And right leg is out, left leg is tucked in, reaching down towards that right foot. My preference is to take this left hand and put it on that left knee, kind of just a little bit of weight to keep it up so that it doesn't start to fly up. If you want to reach both hands out, that's fine too. Remember to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Trying to get your chest down to your knee, nose towards your toes. Good. Sit up, take this right foot, tuck it back behind you, stretch out the quadriceps. And one of my little pet peeves, just to remind you, try to keep the toes, the heel, ankle, knee, hip, all in one line. Don't pull up that foot or pull it off to the side. Pull it straight back up towards your glutes so that you're not putting any sort of rotation on the knees. You're trying to get this stretch. Good. Now take this right foot, swing it over the left knee. We're going to hug in this knee, straightening the back, trying to drop that right hip towards the ground, and remembering to breathe. Good. Take that right hand, put it behind you. Left elbow goes outside your left knee, back twist. Good. And from here, we're going to keep our legs in the same relative position to each other. I want you to just bring that leg up so it looks like you're kind of seated position. I'm going to rotate. Got a nice seated position here. I'm going to get these hands nice and tight in. Lift up my butt a little bit. Get those hands closer in. And now try to drop my chest towards my foot. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to extend off that left foot, trying to straighten that left leg. Drive my chest towards my right shin. Good. And untangle. Where do we start on this? Oh yeah, left leg out, right leg tucked in, down to the straight leg. Remember to breathe. You may want to take that right hand, put it on the right knee. Doing so helps me get a little bit of a lower back stretch, maybe a side stretch on that right side. Good. Now take that left foot, tuck it back behind you, quadricep stretch. Remembering the basic idea of keeping a plane, a single plane for toes, heel, knee, and hips. Good. Sit up. Take that left foot, swing it across and over that right knee. Hug that knee into your chest. Straighten your back. Drop that left hip towards the ground. Good. And now keeping the legs touching each other exactly where they are, we're going to sit those legs up in our seated beach pose position. Bring those hands in and push off the right foot, dropping our chest towards that left shin. Oh, I forgot our back twist. Sorry. We'll get there in just a second. All right, let that right foot drop back towards the ground so we can do our back twist. Left hand goes behind us, right elbow goes outside the left knee, and back twist. Try to elongate the back, using the hand pushing up as you do the twist. Good, we're almost done. What I want you to do now is, let's try to come up in a nice wide position. We're going to do a get splits going out to the side as best as you can. But I want you to focus more on the forward fold at this point. Nice relaxing forward fold. And from here, let's turn to the left for splits if you can. Just do the best you can. I'm trying to think about getting a left hamstring stretch and a right hip stretch. So it's not the best splits in the world. It's not looking like I am a gymnast by any stretch of the imagination, but it's a good leg stretch. And shift to the right. Think about the hamstring stretch. Think about the hip stretch. Come back to the middle splits one more time. Good. And lower yourself down to the ground. And bring in those knees and windshield wiper. And if you've got enough room behind you or around you, a couple of back rolls, just nice and easy. Roll out the back. Good. And go ahead and sit up. Thank you all for joining me for this workout. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the 9th or 10th in the series. I've lost count. We'll post this. You're probably seeing this on YouTube. But if you have any questions or comments, please shoot us a message. Let us know. Yongmudo at gmail.com or Hapkido at temple.edu. We'd love to have whatever feedback we can on our workouts and have you join us and follow us. So thank you for joining us. Remember, we'll all get through this together. Our point on this self-quarantine workout is just to have some fun, practice a little bit of skills, get through it happy and healthy. So take it easy. Best of luck. Stay healthy.